Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction and review for Boku no Hero Academia chapter 161. I already said it in the One Piece video, but I'm recording this Friday afternoon, right after recording that, and because of it being a holiday weekend, I don't know how busy I'll be, how much I might visit family, so I don't know when this video will actually be up, if it'll be up in a few hours after recording it, if it'll be up late tonight, or if it won't be up until tomorrow, which is Saturday for me. Obviously Saturday as of recording this. But yeah, so don't know when it'll be up, just giving you that little excuse to be like, that's why it's late. But this just came out this morning, actually, the scanlation, so I'm actually not that behind it coming out. So either way, let's get to reading. The last chapter was really, really good. We saw the Villain Alliance deal with Chisaki, and it was great. It was dark. It did a lot for those characters. And now, just from clicking on it and seeing the just first page, I haven't read it or anything, but just seeing what it is, I'm thinking it'll probably be just we saw the aftermath of the arc from the villain side. Now I think we might see a bit of the aftermath from the actual main characters, heroes side of things. So either way, let's get into this. Let's start reading. We see Hado Nejire on the front page. The aftermath of the battle. More than half of the total hero police presence at the conflict were taken down by Katsukame Rikia's stamina-absorbing quirk. Everyone else who could still move teamed up with those local heroes to help the injured. 4 houses were destroyed due to Chisaki's disassembly quirk, but there were only 3 citizens injured and all of them had only light scratches. The fact that it happened on a weekday morning in a residential area may explain it, but I still think that's phenomenal. Hey, did you know half of it was all due to Deku's hard work? Deku, I watched him while I was down from the fight. He blasted Chisaki's monster form up into the air, and then he kept on fighting and striking him near this huge hole to minimize the damage area. I recovered just in time to do other jobs. Huge enemies aren't my forte. Okay, meanwhile... So we see what happened with her. Let's see what everybody else is doing. Those who were injured during the fight were taken to the nearest university hospital. The heroes who suffered heavy wounds. Okay, so now we're probably going to see like Kirishima, Fat Gum, Deku, and Night Eye, and Mirio, and find out what happened to all of them. Chapter 161, A Bright Future. Just to make sure, I gave you a full physical examination, but I found nothing wrong aside from your arms. Thank you. And Izuku's arms look all scarred and burnt up. I mean, the scars on his hands are from before. I guess that thing from his arm is new. But how in the world did your arms... They're fine. More importantly, how are the other? I just went and checked on them all, says Aizawa walking in. You shouldn't walk around yet, says the nurse yelling behind him. Mr. Aizawa, you're all right now. I got 10 stitches. Now come. Sorry I wasn't able to keep up with you at critical moments. Oh no, that's completely fine, so how are the others? Kirishima has immense bruising and lacerations all over his body, but it's not life-threatening. I'm a mummy, and we see Kirishima's just completely wrapped up in bandages. Amajiki has a large fissure-like wound on his face, but apparently it'll heal up without a trace given time. And Amajiki's asleep. Fat Gum suffered numerous bone fractures, but he seemed to be doing fine. I'm hungry, he says, sitting up all bandaged. Rocklock was very fortunate. The blade missed all of his internal organs, so none of his injuries were serious. And we see, so cute, we see his wife crying and she has the baby with her. Thank goodness. Okay. Eri, on the other hand, still hasn't woken up and her fever won't go down. We have her quarantined for now. Quarantined? Oh no. Does that mean we can't even visit her? This was a decision made based on the information you obtained about her. She can't control her quirk that can turn back a person's time. Should anything happen to trigger her quirk again, we have no way of stopping it aside from me. You experienced her power by ceaselessly destroying your own body, right? Yes. Not many people would be able to do that, even if there were, she might just increase her power output. Alright. Yeah, I definitely felt her power getting stronger if you hadn't been there to erase her quirk. Because we don't know how strong it is, and to keep our minds at ease, I think this is the most rational option at the moment. We're doing this for her sake, too. It doesn't work on things like buildings or the ground, only on people, which means that it's not something we can easily train, discipline, or fine-tune. In other words, we can't rely on her quirk. What do you mean? All we can do is accept it. I think that's good. That means they're not going to be using it as some sort of sketchy experiment thing. That's good. At least it's fallen into the right hands now. Also, this is good timing. That guy's just arrived. All Might, Recovery Girl, and they're with Bubble Girl and Centipeter. Alright. But why are you here? I asked him to come because Sir was always thinking about All Might, Awada. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. Honestly, it's a miracle he's still alive right now. At this point, my powers won't help either, says Recovery Girl. I'm sorry to say this, but we don't think he'll last to see tomorrow. And Izuku's pretty devastated. We see all the tubes and stuff hooked up. I feel like either A, they could find a way to use Eri's power, or B, I don't see why Recovery Girl's abilities wouldn't help. I mean, even if they're not like a quick fix that immediately would just make him back to normal, her abilities to speed up the mitotic regeneration, right? So really, it shouldn't hurt. It should just make his healing faster. But whatever. Night-Eye, says All Might. All Might, you finally come to see me when I'm on my deathbed, he says. I don't even know how to reply to that. I've done such an awful thing to you. Night-Eye, you can't go. You have to live. Hang in there, Izuku's yelling. You humble yourself too much. It's not like I blame you or anything. All I wanted was for you to be happy. That's why, if you've decided to fight against fate, I'm fine with that. I want you to fight against fate too, please. Let me make amends for everything I've done, says All Might. Making amends. I also owe a lot of people for troubling them. Up until now, I've been searching for every possible way to change your future. I wanted to change the future where you're killed. I searched all this time, but nothing worked. I couldn't change a single thing. But Midoriya showed me a way. I just couldn't clear away these doubts. I can't change anything. It's impossible to change. Those thoughts were always stuck in the back of my mind. Looking back, I think it was all about energy. A future that you strongly wish for, so strongly that there's no room for doubt. A strong and clear vision. Energy from wishing. I'm sure Midoriya is not the only one. I think everyone believes so strongly in a single future that it all just joined together. I think all that energy was focused into Midoriya, and this was the result of him firing it all out at once. Okay. The future is never certain. You changed my views on that. I am very satisfied with that. However, I regret one thing. Wait, Mr. Tagata. You mustn't move around just yet. And we see Mirio stormed in. Sir Night-Eye. Senpai. Mirio. No, please don't die. You can't go, you just can't. Mirio. Sir, I've made you experience so much hardship. If only I had been more astute. You taught me everything. It's because of that I've gotten so strong, and it's because of you that I'm still alive, here and now. Please, you have to keep teaching me. You can't die. Senpai. Mirio, forgive me. At first, I only took you on because I thought you were a fitting vessel, but you held such admiration for me and believed in me, and before I knew it, you became my most treasured student. Mirio, you are. It'll be all right, he says, holding his face. You're becoming an outstanding hero. This is the only future that we shouldn't change. So please, keep smiling, he says. Societies need smiles, laughs, and energy to bring about a brighter future. And we see All Might, Izuku, and Mirio crying. And the monitor stops as Mirio is bawling. His day ends with a peaceful smile on his face. Good night, Night Eye. Man, trying to make me cry here, but I held it in pretty alright. Damn. Well, that was sad. Still don't really get why Recovery Girl couldn't save him. That kind of takes away a little bit of the emotion, I guess. Like, it was super sad and super fitting. But I feel like Recovery Girl, her power, even if he would have died anyway, like, she could have used it. It's not like there would be any harm from it. It's a very, very weird situation. But either way, moving along. Like, there's not really much to discuss for this chapter. Going back through it, it was basically just us learning what happened to all the people during this arc. Everybody's fine. I like what Aizawa said about Eri, though, where they were like, because it works on people, and because we can't afford for her to just mess up and erase people, we can't really train it. We can't really make it any better. So since we can't use it, I think it's just something we have to accept and to live with. We can't really use it as... We can't really use it for anything, and I think that's good, because it sets the heroes apart from people like Chisaki, who were going to use it for evil. So, either way, we have All Might showed up there to see Night Eye and all that. Night Eye is dying. And then we have Night Eye's great final speech, basically. And he started believing and stuff like that. And I think his explanation, I don't think it was just like, if people believe in people, they get magical powers. At least that's not how I took it. I took it as, when people believe in something, that'll change the future that I saw. And the reason that he couldn't change the future with All Might is because he always thought in the back of his mind that he couldn't change the future with All Might. So he was basically trapped in the box of his own mind, his own prediction. It was like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, I think that's the thing. But because Izuku and all the others didn't believe in that, that's how they were able to change it. Okay. Then, of course, we have Mirio. So much sadness here. And I love the final speech here. It's gonna kill it in the anime. It's gonna be so great. Just going back through and reading this again, just skimming over it. It was great seeing All Might cry too. It really adds a lot to his character and shows the importance of Night Eye. But yeah, that was the end of it. So, damn. Kind of a bummer when you get hit with a death chapter. But either way, like you did like the video, I guess, and comment down there to tell me what you thought of the chapter, what you thought of my thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Boku no Hero Academia, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. If you want a link to our Discord server, ask and I'll give you one. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.